The library is open. Hi guys, it's Actual How's everyone doing? Good, I hope. This is a different video for me. I've wanted to do it for a really long time. I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race. I have been since the first season, since I saw Angina cry on that stage. I was really happy about the program. I knew it was destined for big things and it was going to change pop culture and gay culture forever. It's just amazing. So I thought I would combine two things that I really like, and I would pair together the 10 winners of RuPaul's Drag Race with a perfume I think that they would wear, or that's kind of suited to them. Warning, this video is going to have spoilers in it. If you've not watched RuPaul's Drag Race already, or if you're a couple of seasons behind, bitch, like, where are you? It's going to reveal who the winners are, so maybe don't watch it, because I'm going to go through all of the winners of the program, and also the All-Stars as a bonus at the end. Yay for you! Eat it up! I'm going to try to not do Drag Race quotes because it's going to make me sound like an idiot. Anyway, let's start. So, season 1, all those years ago, cast your mind back. The first winner was Bibi Zahara Benet. Not my favourite person, not my favourite winner of any season that I've seen, but this queen is full of spice, full of flavour. She's from Africa. It would have been really easy to just pair her together with Kenzo Jungle Elephant because of the reference for Africa and animals. I'm going to be a little bit more obscure, and I'm going to pair her together with Dolce & Gabbana's Bye. It's a leopard print bottle which ties a little bit back to the African thing, but it's a spicy fragrance. It's coffee, it's lavender. It's one of the sexiest fragrances I've ever smelled from Dolce & Gabbana, probably ever as well. But yeah, I wanted to give Bibi Zahara Benet some sort of flavour and spice. You know, she's a little bit crazy, a little bit tapped, a little bit whacked, comes out with these random like things. So I think that fragrance would suit her down to the ground. It matches the colour of most of the outfits that she wears, so that's why I'm choosing that one for Bibi. Season 2 winner, Tyra Sanchez. Season 3 winner, Raja. Oh my gosh, I had a real soft spot for Raja. This is the first queen that ever brought some, you know, super couture fashion to the runway, to the show. Kind of kind-hearted as well, never really in too much conflict. So I have chosen for Raja Kingdom by Alexander McQueen. This fragrance is really edgy, kind of dirty, a little bit animalic, and I can imagine, although I don't know Raja, I can imagine that Raja possibly looks up to Alexander McQueen. Plus I'm English, Alexander McQueen is English. It all ties together for me. Kingdom is discontinued now, unfortunately, but it came in a sliced heart-shaped bottle with lots of chrome on it, or like metallic looking chrome stuff. And it smelled like, people said it smelled really dirty, like knickers, and it was really edgy and stuff. It was in a way, but it was oh so elegant and refined and classy, and that's kind of how I see Raja. I really loved Raja. Deserved winner of season 3. Moving on to season 4, Sharon Needles. She was my favourite from the start. I absolutely love Sharon Needles. She was the one that was, in my eyes, pushing the boundaries a little bit, where drag isn't always meant to be pretty or funny or anything like that. Guys, if you're watching this and you're from America, drag in England, from me growing up, is different. It's very traditional. They sing, it's comedic, it's very over the top, theatrical, eyebrows up to here. You know, it's not the same as American drag. So RuPaul's Drag Race has really opened our eyes to different kinds of drag, and there are different types of drags coming up in England. There's a house called the Meth Lab. These guys are really cutting edge. They're really cool young queens that are bursting out of everything. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about Sharon Needles. I loved her. I don't know, she was the underdog. She got into quite a few conflicts, and she's been one of the hardest ones to pair a fragrance with, because it would be easy to go down the incense, gothic, churchy, ghosty route. I was gonna give her Ghost by Ghost, but no, I'm gonna give Sharon Needles one of the most edgy and weird fragrances I've ever smelled, and it's called Secretions Magnifique, which is Magnificent Secretions. And this fragrance is really abstract, really kind of dark and weird. It's based on bodily secretions. It's based on tears and semen and sweat and blood and adrenaline and all kinds of craziness. I feel like it fits Sharon Needles. She does not fit in. Maybe she does now. I'm talking about the queens on the show. I'm not talking about how they've progressed since the show. I'm talking about on the show. I want to give Sharon Needles Secretions Magnifique because I think she's the only queen of all of them that could rock it. Done. So season 5, we're talking about Miss Jinx Monsoon from Seattle. I loved Jinx Monsoon's journey. She was the underdog. She was the one that was in quite a bit of conflict. I don't think a lot of people really understood her. I didn't really understand where she was coming from, and I'm gonna be honest, she wasn't very polished at the beginning, but she was the journey queen. She was the queen that went through the season and stepped up and stepped up and stepped up and took criticism and understood what was happening, but still had a massive raw talent. I adored Jinx Monsoon, and I'll be honest, I didn't really notice her until about halfway through. You know, when there's all these queens running around for attention and your attention doesn't know where to go, you don't know what you're doing. Jinx got my attention halfway through, and I really, really love her. And she was one of the easiest ones to pair a fragrance with. I've given her Ban de Caron by Caron. This fragrance is a super vintage feeling fragrance. It's luxurious. Jinx's whole shtick is being from, you know, an older time, the 50s, things like that. This fragrance comes in a champagne bottle, and you can either pour it into your bath, you know, just to be really decadent, or you can actually wear it on your skin. It's very soft, it's powdery. I think it would suit Jinx amazing, and if she ever watches this, as any of the queens, if you ever watch this, I'll get you some. It's fine. Next. Oh my gosh, season 6. We're talking about the grand high bitch herself, Bianca Del Rio. I'm still surprised that Bianca never ever lip synced in her season, ever. I guess that's just talent where you don't even have to get into the bottom. I chose a very obscure fragrance for Bianca Del Rio, and I'll explain why. I chose Moth by Zoologist. The reason I chose this is for a couple of reasons. Moth as a fragrance is very beautiful. It is basically, the backdrop of it is honey. It's gorgeous, but it has a smoky backdrop. It's about a moth leaving its burrow to find a mate and then ultimately dying in flames. There is a tragedy at the end of this story in this perfume, and I chose it for Bianca because the fragrance is ultimately very sweet, like she is, but there's a fire underneath, you know. There is this facade of smokiness in the fragrance, and it really matches her personality. And also, I chose Moth because moths are creatures of the night. I feel like Bianca's a little bit like that, and her makeup on her eyes is always so dark and kind of feathery, and that's why I chose Moth for Bianca Del Rio. It's a gorgeous fragrance, guys. Honestly, check it out. It's wicked. Love it. Season 7 winner, Violet Chachki. Admittedly, not one of my favourite winners ever. Not a kind of queen that I would probably go and buy tickets to go and see. But man, she turned some looks, and yeah. So I chose Insolence by Guerlain for Violet Chachki. It's essentially a violet fragrance, which seems obvious, but look up the name, look up the word of insolence. It's got quite a tied meaning to her attitude, I think. Yeah, it does. It's a very sweet violet. It's like syrupy violets on crack. I'm not saying that Violet ever takes drugs. I would never ever say something like that in my videos ever. But it's a really high-pitched violet. It's quite intense and it lasts forever. So that's why I chose it for Violet Chachki. But insolence is the name. Insolence means bad manners, ill manners, a little bit rude, I don't know. And that's why this fragrance was perfect for her. So I really appreciated her looks and everything. I really liked them. I thought she was really polished in that way. I'm just not sure about the attitude thing, but who am I to say? I'm not in the competition. I'm just a lowly viewer. On to the next queen. The next one's a real tough one. It's Bob the Drag Queen. I was rooting for Bob to win. Bob is so funny. He knew he was funny. He got into some conflict as well, but don't they all? There's the craziness that surrounds this whole process. I love it. He was a really tough one to pick a perfume for. I know he's originally from Georgia, but he embodies the New York spirit and the Brooklyn crazy spirit. So I chose Brooklyn by Bond Number 9 for him. There's not really much of a connection between the notes or the scent of it. Like I said, he was a tough one to pair a perfume with, really tough. So I chose Brooklyn by Bond Number 9 because I wanted to represent a drag queen that's come from Georgia that now is smashing New York in every way possible. And Bob the Drag Queen, I love you. I saw a video of you with one of my favourite perfume companies. They're called Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, and you did a video online with Elizabeth Barriel's daughter. So if you ever see this, I've seen it and it made me love you even more. So next, so we move on to Sasha Velour. I get so emotional, baby. I had to pair this queen together with something that was going to be really artsy, really cool. Sasha Velour really stepped up the artsy queen thing. She was another queen that didn't wear wigs that often, you know, circa Ongina. And I really appreciated everything she did. I was always looking forward to her runway looks, you know, like what's she going to do? Is she going to wear a wig? Is she not going to wear a wig? Does she even own a wig? It was always amazing. Like, everything she did was really, really fucking cool. I really liked it. And so I have chosen a fragrance that I feel is quite abstract and almost like an anti-perfume, because I feel like Sasha Velour is not an anti-drag queen. I don't want to say that, but she's outside of it a little bit, where she's so arty, and there are lots of queens like that too, but she's a winner. That's why we're talking about her. So I chose Comme des Garçons 2. It's in a silver bottle. It's been one of the weirdest fragrances I've ever had to review or describe ever, and I don't think I've truly nailed it. But I wanted to give Sasha this fragrance because it's metallic and just, I don't know, it's like I said, it's almost an anti-perfume. It's really abstract and cool and artsy and contemporary, and that's why I gave it to her. It's a weird one. I can't say much more about it, but yeah. So, moving on to this year's winner. This is your last warning. Stop the video if you don't want spoilers. So, let's talk about this year's winner, Aquaria. I am happy that she won. This is the first year in 10 years of RuPaul's Drag Race, or 10 seasons of Drag Race, that my favourite 3 have gotten to the top 5. So I was happy for Aquaria, Eureka, or Cracker to win. I was really upset when Cracker got eliminated. Really upset. Anyway, Aquaria was a really easy one. She's edgy, she turns the looks. I mean, the fragrance I've given Aquaria is Entre Ciel et Mer, which means between sky and sea. And this is a really amazing aquatic fragrance, but it's very abstract, it's edgy, it's cool. It features notes of algae and sea salt and lichen. it's a very weird aquatic fragrance. I could have already given her some sort of mermaid fragrance, but I'm not going to do that. Aquaria is deeper than water. I love her. So, well done Aquaria for winning. You're going to be in London really soon as well. I'm happy about that. I might come and see you. So, bonus, going on to the top 3 All-Stars winners. Well, the 3 All-Stars winners, which contains my favourite drag queen ever. Okay, let's do it. So, the first winner of Drag Race All-Stars ever, Miss Chad Michaels. I did feel in my heart that she should have won her season, although I love the winner too. But still, it was a really good redemption moment. I have given Chad Michaels Chanel number 5 because CHA Chad, CHA Chanel. Not only that, Chad Michaels is a real gorgeous, vintage, classy queen that's gonna stand the test of time, you know. He's so poised and lovely. That's why I've chosen one of the greatest fragrances ever that exists, which is Chanel number 5. It's soft, it's friendly, it's classy, and that's why I gave him that. That. Okay, this brings me on to my most favourite part of this video. It's Alaska! Alaska is my favourite drag queen ever. I love her. I was so happy that she won season 2 of All Stars. Although Alaska, you were a bit of a brat. I always view Alaska as this long-legged praying mantis, alien-esque type drag queen. I can imagine meeting him, which hopefully I do one day, and it's gonna be this towering thing that's just gonna envelop me and I will be so happy about it. I'm really excited to hopefully one day get to meet Alaska. So what perfume better to give her than Alien by Terry Mugler? It's bold, it's crazy, it lasts forever. It's essentially a jasmine fragrance. Let's take this off because I can't really see you guys anymore. I just really see Alaska as this alien creature from another planet. It's just crazy. I love her so much. So I chose Alien because it only has 3 notes, the fragrance: jasmine, whitewoods and amber. Yet Alaska has many notes. I've watched millions of videos about Alaska. I'm obsessed and I really hope she watches this video too. This is not a cry for help. Please watch my video. I'm just saying. Alaska, alien-esque queen from another world. That's why I chose it. And finally we have Trixie Mattel, another one of my favourites. I was really I was really upset that I didn't get to see more of Trixie on her season. I knew there was more to see, and then I started watching Trixie and Katya's YouTube series called and it just revealed so much more amazingness about Trixie. So I have chosen Mukhalat by Montal for Trixie. I always say that this fragrance smells like Barbie dolls. It has this dull, heady sweetness about it. It's strawberry, it's very smooth and weird, and essentially Trixie's whole aesthetic is dolls. So I chose Mukhalat because it's gonna fit her sometimes sweet character, but yeah, sometimes she's a bitch. I did want to give her Baby Doll by YSL, but that didn't really fit her very much because it's kind of sharp. Maybe I'm going to do this. I'm going to layer Mukhalat and Baby Doll by YSL. It's a sharp grapefruit biting, cutting thing, but then Mukhalat is sweet and doll-headed like, so that's it. I'm going to choose 2 for Trixie. She deserves it. I love her. Anyway guys, that's my video of my Drag Race winners and perfumes I think they would be suited to. Anyway, I hope you liked it. I'm much on my note, click my logo down there to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Goodbye. Oh.